She lay in bed, the soft rustle of the night air the only sound. Outside the stars shone down, distant and cold. Inside, the only noise was Leela's peaceful breathing, slow, rhythmic. A lock of her thick, dark hair slipped from her head, falling softly onto the pillow. Another strand, then another. The hair, once so long and glossy, now lay like a tangle of broken dreams. Her stepmother, Selina, stood over her scissors in hand, eyes gleaming with malice. If I can't break her heart, she thought, I'll break her beauty. Layla was the pride of the village. Not just for her striking appearance though, even the elders swore. The gods had taken their time on her but for her gentle nature. She helped the elderly carry water, shared her food with the poor, and always stepped in when fights broke out. She didn't speak much, but when she smiled, the whole village felt it. Her mother had died when she was just a child, and her father, a quiet, gentle man, remarried 2 years later. He brought home Selina sharp-eyed and bitter, with a daughter, Olivia, who was polite but secretly jealous of Leela's beauty. First, Selina played the role of the loving stepmother. She braided Leela's hair and called her my dear, but it didn't take long for the kindness to fade. Slowly, small things began to go missing. Leela's scarf, her favorite necklace, even a pair of shoes. Each time she asked, Selina only shrugged. Maybe if you were more careful with your things, you'd still have them, she would say. Then came the day when the village square buzzed with excitement. The royal herald, wearing gold and feathers, came riding in on a white horse. He waved the royal seal and declared, by decree of His Highness, Prince Zain, a grand ball shall be held to choose the next princess. All young women of age are invited to attend. The village erupted in chaos. Women began pulling out forgotten clothes, rummaging through jewelry, and taking a trip to the tailor. The air was thick with excitement. Even Olivia, who had always been overshadowed by Leela, grinned widely. She was determined to stand out this time. Leela, quiet and reserved, stepped into the sunlight that afternoon, her thoughts drifting toward the ball. What if this time, I'm seen for who I really am? That night, Leela sat by her window, imagining the palace filled with lanterns and laughter, the smell of jasmine and sweetbread. She didn't tell anyone, but under her pillow, she had kept a piece of fine cloth, a small secret she had been saving for years. Selina, ever watchful, saw it. Her eyes narrowed, a new idea taking root. But she said nothing. The day before the festival, Selina summoned Leela. She handed her a long list of chores: wash the linens twice, clean the stables, fetch water from the far well, and cook a full meal for everyone. Not one grain of rice should burn. Leela's heart sank, but she nodded, resigned to her fate. The sun rose and set, and still she worked tirelessly. Her hands bled from scrubbing, her body ached with exhaustion, but she didn't stop. And as dusk fell, she placed the last bowl of stew on the table. She exhaled. Her limbs felt heavy, but in her chest, there was a small flicker of hope. She had earned her chance. But across the room, from the doorway, Selina stood watching, her arms crossed, a cruel smile curling on her lips. So, she still believes she's going, she muttered under her breath. Tonight, I'll remind her where she belongs. The door creaked open. Leela was standing before the mirror, hands trembling as she touched the hair that had been her pride. What once had been a river of dark beauty was now a chaotic mess. Leela didn't scream. She just stared at the reflection, unable to believe what she saw. The jagged cuts, the uneven patches. Her hair, once long and lush, was now nothing but a mockery of what it had been. Selina's voice cut through the silence, her words dripping with venom. Not so pretty now, are we? Go ahead, show yourself at the ball. See if Prince Zain cares about a girl who looks like she's been attacked by a wild animal. Layla didn't respond. She didn't fight. She didn't cry. Slowly, she reached for the scarf her mother had left her. She wrapped it around her head, securing it with careful hands. Then, without a word, she walked toward the door. She didn't glance at Selina. She opened the door and stepped into the cold night air, bare feet kissing the earth beneath her. Her shoulders were squared, her head held high. There was only one place left in the world that could give her solace. Beyond the fields of yam, past the whispering trees, stood a small, humble hut. It belonged to Mama Ife, a woman known for her wisdom, her stories, and her healing hands. Leela knocked gently, and when Mama Ife opened the door, she could see the brokenness in the young girl's eyes. But Mama Ife didn't speak. She simply led her inside. The fire crackled softly, The wind whispered through the roof, and the two sat in silence. Then, Mama Ife spoke. When the lion walks through the jungle, it does not look to the other animals for approval. It simply moves. She untied Lila's scarf and ran her fingers through the short strands of hair. They tried to humiliate you, Mama Ife said, but true beauty comes from the strength that lies within. Together, they braided Lila's hair, weaving it with resilience and power. No beads of gold, just simple, earthy stones, each one symbolizing a strength earned through pain. When Mama Ife finished, she handed Layla a small mirror. Layla looked into it not to see beauty, but to find the girl who had survived. The girl who had not been broken. What she saw wasn't defeat. It was fire. A quiet, unyielding fire.